YouTube, what's up? Coming at you from the backyard, a beautiful September Saturday afternoon. It's been about a year since I made my chicken thighs video, and we've had about 10,000 hits, which is pretty cool. Anyway, somebody said, hey man, you should make some more videos. And as I thought about it, I said, nah, I don't know. But as I thought about it, I said, you know what, maybe people just want the basics. Maybe people just want the 101, how you use this thing. I know I burned some meat on it the first few times I cooked on it, and I really could have used it just 101 how it works. So what my intention here is just to teach people how to use the Weber kettle, give them some confidence. You'll see that I've upgraded, if you saw my chicken thighs video, I've upgraded to a Performer Deluxe, which is cool because it's got the table and it's got the ignition assist, but everything is the same as any other 22.5-inch kettle. They all work the same, they're dependable. That's why nothing's really changed on them in probably the past 50 or 60 years. My dad used to have a saying, and he would say, Herman, having a gun that you can't shoot is about as good as having a dog that won't listen. He said both of them are worthless. And so the intention here is just to provide you guys enough information so your Weber kettle is not worthless to you. It's a value, and you take pride in cooking for your friends, your family, and yourself. I've seen a lot of these for sale on Facebook and Craigslist, and really the only reason I can think of someone getting rid of one of these is to either upgrade or they just don't know how to cook on it. So maybe I can teach you how to cook on it. I don't have any recipes and things along those lines. There's thousands of those out there. But if I can teach you how to control the heat on this bad boy and just get it set up for cooking, then you can cook anything if you can follow instructions off of those things online. With that being said, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm not a video producer or whatever you call those people, directors or whatever. Just a guy in his backyard who wants to help people out. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this video. So here we go. We're back at the backyard, and let's just start with the basics. Right now we have our Weber kettle right here, and we just got a few basic supplies that I use. The first one, probably the most important, is a chimney. The chimney is what helps you light the charcoal. Gone are those days where you have to spray the lighter fluid onto your charcoal to make sure they light. The chimney does a great job at that. It goes without saying, a grill grate, a lighter, and also a hook. I like using a hook to flip my meat. So let's make the assumption that I grilled last week, and I need to go ahead and grill again. And one thing I also told you, I forgot to tell you about, is gloves. I always like to put gloves on. So what I'm gonna do, let me adjust the camera just to make sure that you guys can see. But what I like to do, if you can see down in there, there's coals already in there. So I like to take coals that I've already burned and use them again. There's no reason in putting brand new coals in every time, especially when these work as good. So just take your chimney, put it in the bottom of the grate, and put your old, just put your old coals. You see they're gray, just old Kingsford. Put them back in. You know, I'm not being endorsed by Kingsford or Weber or anything like that, but I tell you that I really like Kingsford charcoal. I'll tell you why. Because of consistency. No matter what bag I'm getting, it's always going to burn the same. So I really like Kingsford. I'm going to go ahead and clean up the bottom. Clean out the bottom of your kettle just to make sure you have good airflow. So what I'm going to do now is in my Weber kettle, I don't have to use these, but I realize most people don't have a kettle that's like this. So we'll go ahead and use these starter cubes that are by Weber, and we'll just go ahead and take one of these out of there, and we'll go ahead and light it up. How you do this most effectively, you just take this bad boy, put it at the bottom of your Weber kettle, light it up, and you just take the chimney and put it on top. Well, one step that I did forget to do is top it off with new charcoal. So we got old charcoal on the bottom, but go ahead and fill your chimney up with new charcoal. And probably after about 20 minutes, what you're going to have is fire coming out of that bad boy. So I'll just let it. So as you're waiting for your coals to get hot, one thing to do now would be to get your meat ready. You know, if you haven't already seasoned your meat, you would want to get that going now because you probably got about 15 or 20 minutes before this gets before you have to tend to this fire. So yeah, now's the time to get your meat going. And I've already got mine, so I'll just sit tight and we'll catch up with you once this gets done. So we're about 15 minutes, I don't know, maybe 12 to 15 minutes in, and you can see that chimney is really smoking. What's the cool thing about the chimney is that, yeah, you don't have to worry about lighter fluid, and you don't have to worry about, did you put enough on there, or did you let it soak. You just light these chimneys up and they keep the fire contained in there. As I can see through my little holes right here, I can see red, or I can see fire. I don't see flames coming out of the top yet, but you know, that really doesn't concern me. I know that I got a good portion of the chimney lit, and as a matter of fact, it's those old coals from before. But I'm just going to go ahead and take my gloves, put it on, and I'm going to dump the coals. Now, one important thing with cooking with Weber kettles, there's two ways to cook: direct grilling or indirect. I always do indirect grilling unless I'm doing a steak or something like that needs high heat. So I say that just to let you know that when I pour the coals into the grill, I'm going to pour them on one side. A lot of people call this bank cooking. You're cooking by putting the coals on one bank. But again, just another way of saying indirect cooking. So I'll try to stay out of the way of the camera, and I'll go ahead and put it on there. So go ahead and be careful because those sparks will fly out. And there we go. And you can see all those white coals that came from the bottom. Again, those were just coals that we reused, and so we recycled, so we didn't have to, you know, use brand new coals up. So we'll let that get going. I'm going to put this chimney away. Probably about 3 or 4 minutes. All these coals will be white hot, and we'll get our top grate on. So as I come back, I want to remember to keep my top vents wide open. Make sure you have them cleaned out. You know, I'll go ahead and let me just go ahead and clean it out again, because I know they got some ash down there from when I poured that chimney in there. But what I'm going to do now is just simply take my coals and push them all to one side. It looks like in the camera that they're pushed to one side now, but let's get them all over there even. And again, when all your coals become white, that white is ash, and so that's just a great indicator that you're ready to put your meat on. I know it's just going to be a matter of minutes before these black coals get to be white. Now try to make your coals even. You know, we're going to throw some chicken on here for the example, but I like to just go ahead and have an even fire bed. So while that fire bed's getting hot, I'm going to take the top grate. Just take your top grate, be careful, and just set it on. Okay. And as you can see, so we've got our coals on one side, we've got our top grate on. What I'm going to do now is just let that grate get hot, because as it gets hot, it's going to be easier for me to clean it. So take my wire brush here and let's just give it a good clean. Some people use big gloves and they like to pick their grates up. I don't like to pick my grate up. I like to spin my grate. And so I can see some char over here from the last time I cooked. So I know that's going to get nice and hot. And what we'll do is we'll wait a few seconds. And we'll go ahead and get this cleaned up. Some people ask how important is it to get your grate clean. I say, well, heck, I don't know. How important is it to you wash pots and pans before you cook food in them? So, you know, it's fairly important. A clean grate is really important. You don't want to be spreading germs from one dish to the other. Let me go ahead and remove this top just so you guys can see a little better what's going on. Okay, so it's a little hot in here. As you can see, while we're doing this prep work, our coals are still getting hot, so we're not wasting any time. We're just waiting for them to get white hot. So here's a tip. Here's a tip I just recently learned. We got this side of the grates that are hot. and this side that's not right now, right? Making the assumption that it's cooled off. If you want grill marks on your food, put your food on grates that are hot. If you don't want grill marks, if you want even marks on your food, put your food on the side that's not hot. Okay? Some people like grill marks in their steaks. Some people don't. Anyways, that just gives you an idea of what it's going to end up looking like. So we'll go ahead and chill out here for a while. We'll let those coals get white hot. And once they get hot, we'll be ready to start cooking. So we got coals that are white hot now after a few minutes. And when I see my coals are white hot, that just lets me know that it's time to go. Just FYI, a full chimney of briquettes is probably going to give you about 375 degrees on the opposite side. If I put a thermometer right over this meat right now, and I've done it plenty of times before, it's going to be about 500 or 600 degrees. So now that our meat's ready, one thing that I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and cook some chicken today. I'm going to put my chicken on, and let's say perhaps I don't want grill marks. I just want it to be a nice creamy color. I'm going to take this chicken, and here it's not even sizzling. And I'm going to put this chicken on the cool side, because again, I don't want grate marks right away. And so I'm going to put it on there. And some people ask me about this hook. I like this hook because I can just use it with one hand. But no matter what I'm cooking, guys, I always go indirect heat. Okay? And so although I like indirect heat, one thing I do want to do is give my food color. So I take this and I just drag it. And so now what I have is my chicken sitting right above those coals. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I want to give it a nice, good color. You know, whether I'm doing pork chops or whatever, I always try to put them over the coals for maybe about a minute, if that. Again, it just gives it a really, really nice color. If you want to cook with smoke, I like cooking with hickory. And so, as you'll see, I don't know if you can see or not, but on the side I've got a couple chunks of hickory over here, and I don't put those in right now because it gets too much going on over here, and I don't want a lot of this going on. But yeah, what we'll do is we'll just take this, and I want to make the backside the same color. Just flip it, right? And this isn't a video on cooking chicken, but I pretty much cook all my stuff like I use to cook chicken. And you'll see if flames come up, it's no big deal. As long as your food's not on fire, that's no problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin it back over, but here's a tip. Get your food away from the edge because you don't want all that soot getting on your food. Okay? It'll flame up, it's all good. So I'm in a good place now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, roll back up to the other side. So now I don't have to worry about my food getting burned because it's not over the coals. The only thing I need to worry about now is temperature control. Temperature control of my grill and my food. I like to use, here's a couple different ways to do it. If you just want to keep your hands clean, you can just throw a couple pieces of wood right here on top, and it's going to create smoke. That's hickory. But here's what we do now. Simply take your lid and put your lid back on, but put your holes, your vent, above your food. Vent above the food. What happens is that the smoke is generating over here, and we're forcing the smoke and everything to go above the food, which means that our food has a nice flavor, especially when we're cooking with wood. So I've got my thermometer, I've got my bottom vent wide open, my top vent is wide open. All there is now to do is to wait. I know that this chicken's going to take probably about 40 or 45 minutes, so when I get close to 40 minutes, I'm just going to take my probe, I'm going to stick it in there and see if it's done. So it's really, really that easy to cook on the Weber kettle. If I can give you a few tips, tricks, hints, I can see, and you may not be able to see it real well now because that hickory really hadn't caught fire, but I can tell the wind is going from right to left on your screen. And I don't want that because I don't want wind going through my top vent and pushing my smoke away from the food. This was a lot easier to do when I had the little Weber kettle. But what I would do in a perfect world, I'll just take this turn it around. Okay. One thing I like doing is get a good smoke off of my grill, and I noticed that I wasn't getting quite enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get these coals and I'm going to get this hickory inside the coals. That way I know we're going to get smoke and you guys can see. So again, filling wind's coming from that way, going that way, pushing out some meat. And we're in a good place. Now what I'll probably do is, I got some potatoes I like to cook. These are nice because they come already in the container. But, you know, since they're in the container, they're protected. Let's see. Just put these right here. And they'll get hot, but it'll be all good. All right, we'll be back. Probably about 30 more minutes. I don't know about that for the potatoes, but at least 30 more minutes for the chicken. And I don't know. Well, you know, rather than leave, I guess I can just kind of talk through a few things. So the Weber Kettle, man. I mean, it's like there's so many groups on Facebook. One of them is called Weber Kettle Fan Club is one I'm part of that I really learned a lot of stuff on. There's a lot of accessories too for the Weber Kettle. I mean, I've spent over a couple $100 on accessories, but you know, you really don't need all that, to be honest with you. As long as you can cook direct, I mean, you'll be in a good place. Just remember, indirect is the way to go. And you'll see from your right to your left, you see how my smoke is pushing away. That's good. I don't want the smoke pushing into the top vent. So stay tuned. Once we think the chicken's done, we'll put the thermometer in there. You know, this chicken is 185. You know, if we were cooking pork or something, it'd be 160. But once the thermometer says it's time to come off, we'll take it off, and I'll show you how to shut it down so you can reuse your coals for next time. Look at that smoke push away. Beautiful. From right to left, it's pushing away. The Weber's generating the heat on the right side. Our food is catching all of it on the left side. We're going indirect, so we're not burning anything. We're in a good place. Now it's just a matter of knowing how long your food typically cooks. Again, I know chicken needs to be at 185. Typically it takes me about 40 minutes. When I get close to 40 minutes, I'll just get a thermometer, stick it in there, and if it's 185, we're done. Using a Weber kettle is really, really that simple. If I could give you guys one tip only, it would be go indirect. Don't put your food directly above the coals unless you need to sear something like steak. Something just came to me. You know, we have a tendency when we don't know what's going on inside that grill, we got a tendency to take the top off, right? And my one rule, or my one suggestion to you is try not to do that. The reason why is because, you know, this is like an oven. Imagine opening your oven every 5 or 10 minutes. It's gonna lose heat. It's just not gonna be very efficient. One thing I like to do is just one time in the middle of the cook. And don't worry, you'll figure out what the middle of the cook is gonna be after you get used to doing this. But I either flip my meat and or I turn it. So since we're talking about it, I can go ahead and take this chicken and give it a turn. Heck, let's go ahead and even turn it over. Okay. So, you know, all good. This might take about 45 seconds. I don't know. This little guy over here in the corner. But again, I got stuff going on. I don't have to worry about anything burning. Remember, indirect's always the way to go. All good. Put my lid back on. Make sure I put my vents above the meat. Now might be a good time just to go ahead and clean your outside out as well. And here we go. We're continuing to move. All right, we'll be back. I don't know. We'll be back probably about 20 minutes to take a look at how that chicken's doing. All right, I think we're at a good place here. So, let's check it. All right, so just throw my thermometer here away from the bone. 187 degrees. Let's check one more. Ooh, smoke got me. It says 76. This one 170. 179. So yeah, I'll let those go a little while longer, but I know these small ones are ready to come off, so just go ahead and take them. Yep, 185. And you know what? I think I'm going to just go ahead and let these go for, let me check this one a bit longer. Yeah, I can just kind of tell by looking at them. I don't think those are ready. So I'm just going to let these go a bit longer. If you notice, we really don't have grill marks on this chicken. And if you remember, we didn't put it on the hot, the hot grate. So let's go ahead and give this, give that a turn. There we go. So, you know, it just wasn't done. I just thought it might be done. It wasn't done, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave them on here just a little while longer. If your food has a bone in it, take the temperature away from the bone. Sometimes that doesn't affect the temperature. I'd say it was, I don't know, it was 6 or 7 minutes. All right, looks like we're probably about done. Something I do sometimes too, if I don't like the color, how my food came out, or you know, it's I need to add 4 or 5 extra degrees to it, I'll just throw it over the coals real fast. But you know, I'm just showing you guys this, just let you know you can do it. This might be what some people will call a reverse here, but anyway, I think we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and take this chicken off. And you can see why I really love this grill. One of the reasons why I really do is because of this table. With the traditional Weber kettle, I wouldn't be able to do this. I would have to, you know, try to have some hands freed up or something along those lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take these potatoes off as well. I don't have my gloves on. I need my gloves on to do this, but let's see. Yeah, I don't want to do anything foolish. So just get this one on. Do this. Cool. So we're done cooking. Sorry, everybody, just getting my things put together. We're done cooking. Now might be a good time if you don't feel like really cleaning your grates next time. Just go ahead and clean your grates. We cooked the chicken on this side, so this is the dirty side, obviously. So take that dirty side and just put it above the coals. What the coals are going to do is going to heat it up, right? And as it heats it up, it's going to loosen all that stuff up. So, it's very great. Wouldn't be surprised if we get a little bit of fire action going here, but it's all good. Again, I'm just doing this just to make a demonstration. I could go ahead and just shut this grill down and no harm, no harm. Looks like it's quite hot enough yet. So, oops, that's my phone going off. Tell me my timer's good. So anyways, well, that's good enough. It'll stay hot. So this is what we do. Oops. Go ahead and put your lid back on. Close your vent. Close your vent. And voila. Now your vents are closed. What that means is that the fire is gonna go out in the charcoal, and you can use the charcoal next time. So, you know, that's really it. That's Weber kettle cooking 101. I use chicken today, but I use this technique on everything that I cook. I hope that you learned something. I hope you found this video was valuable, and I hope you cook a lot of great food. If you enjoyed it, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. I really enjoy cooking. Sometimes I wish I had a job cooking on the Weber kettle for people, because I would really just love my job. So Here's how the, if I don't lose it, here's how the chicken came out. And again, there's only one way to do it, right? To go ahead and dive in. Go get your Weber kettle, or dust your Weber kettle off and do the indirect route, and you'll be just fine. Again, if you want some recipes, they got thousands of recipes online. If you want to learn how to convert your kettle into a smoker, they have things for that as well. So just an awesome tool. I'm glad I bought one, and I'll continue using one until the good Lord takes me from this earth. But anyways, happy to share a little bit of my Saturday with you. Hope you all are doing well, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks, guys.